is about taking information and making it the center of attention.
With the intranet, when somebody comes up with a new exciting idea, you can implement that idea almost instantly.
If you're developing on Java, it works, everywhere.
Netscape is an important partner to anybody in a dynamic, fast-paced environment. You really get to be a part of what is the biggest information revolution that we will probably ever see. Everybody out there in the developer community has a big, huge part to play. You are creating the future.
Good morning, and welcome to the second Netscape Developers Conference. My name is Danny Shader, and I'm Vice President of Industry and Developer Relations at Netscape. I work for Mike Homer, Netscape's Senior Vice President of Marketing. For those of you who are here with us in March, we'd like to welcome you back. And for those of you who are attending for the first time, we're really excited that you're here. We've been hard at work since our last conference, developing a deep and technically packed agenda, and we really hope that you'll enjoy that and get as much out of it as we put Yesterday, we held a press conference in which we introduced a number of new products and underlying technologies as part of our developers conference, and you are our first public audience. It's our goal over the 3 days that we'll be together to give you an overview of these new products, detailed information about how to create enterprise-focused applications built on these products, an overview of the Netscape One platform, and a roadmap for the future. We're working very hard to make you successful. We realize that all of our success is tied together. We conducted a developer survey of over 1,000 of our developers, and you told us 4 things. First, you said you wanted earlier access to information about our future plans. And that's what this conference is going to be all about. Second, you said that you wanted more time spent with us. And that's why the developer group at Netscape has grown from 20 to 50 people. It's going to double again, and it's going to double again after that. Third, you said that you wanted better tools. And I think you'll be really excited with the news that Marc will provide as part of his keynote this morning. And fourth, you wanted more assistance with marketing. Since our last conference, we've introduced DevEdge Online, One Directory, and One-Stop Software. And we've enhanced these programs with much greater participation by our third-party community, and we'll continue to enhance it even more. Well, we've got a very busy schedule this morning with a lot to cover, so without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our co-founder and Senior Vice President of Technology, Marc Andreessen.
Great, thanks, Danny. It's great to see all of you here today. It's great to be here. I think this is going to be a really exciting 3 days. We've got a lot of hardcore, great technical material lined up, a lot of sessions, a lot of birds of a feather, and so on. As a developer, I'm really looking forward to spending 3 days with all the enterprise developers. We've got a lot of ISVs here. We've got a lot of content providers, also analysts and press, people watching the industry. So I think it's going to be an exciting time. It's been about 6 months since our last developers conference, which was in March. it's amazing how much has happened. The comment you frequently hear is that stuff is moving even faster than people expected. People's lives are really being changed by what we're all doing. The market has grown a lot. The opportunity for our products and services and technology, everything that we do as a community has grown a lot. The technology has advanced a lot. We'll be talking about a lot of that today. And then finally, a lot of great products and tools have emerged that let people get work done really quickly and easily. And I think the next 6 months promise to be even more exciting for all of us. So today, to kick off these next 6 months, I'd like to do 4 basic things. One is briefly talk about Netscape strategy for '97 and tell you where we're going. As part of that, I'd like to introduce and also show a demo. I have a demo of some of the most significant new products we've ever announced. We just rolled these out this week. These are brand new, so that should be fun. Third is I'd like to provide a technical overview of the open network environment, the developer environment that we're creating around our products and around internet and intranet technologies. And then finally, I've invited 5 really innovative third-party software companies in a number of specific spaces, doing products in the Netscape environment for intranet and intranets. To join me on stage to demonstrate some examples of what people are actually doing today. Some of the really exciting things that are happening. We think the greatest opportunity in the computer industry today, out of everything that's happening across the entire industry, is the application of intranets to businesses. In fact, IDC says that major businesses like Silicon Graphics or Cadence or Booz Allen, who build intranets, are typically seeing returns on their investments in excess of 1,000%. Really mind-boggling numbers, getting back 10 times their investment in a matter of months. It's because of this that a lot of companies are moving really rapidly to deploy intranets. Forrester says that 96% of the Fortune 1000 either have or are rolling out intranets. It's expected to be a $10 billion software opportunity, or in excess of that by the year 2000. In fact, Montgomery Securities just said that the opportunity in software alone for internet and intranets is likely to be $17 billion by the year 2000. So there's a huge opportunity here for all of us. This expected growth in intranets has implications, I think, for all of us in this room. If you're an enterprise developer, we want to help you be the hero who brings these 1,000% returns on investment to your company, and really helps the people in your company work a lot more effectively. If you're an ISV, we want to work with you to help you build the software, build the products and the tools that are going to help our IT colleagues deploy them inside their businesses. And then finally, if you're in the media or content business, we think there's a really fundamental shift underway due to the internet, due to the internet, that's going to drive a lot of technological change and a lot of business opportunity for all of us in the months and years ahead. The cornerstone of this is the fact that HTML, which grew up as the rich language document format of the web, is now expanding way beyond browsing. It's now serving as the basis for web-based email, also groupware, and also full-fledged business applications. Ever since people first began wiring computers together in networks, there's been this elusive promise of email and groupware applications that we're going to tie together everyone, someday everyone on the planet. And companies have been chasing this for a long time. With the products we're about to see and with what you all are doing, in 1996 and 1997, for the first time, a company can really affordably provide all employees with email and groupware that provides all the richness of the web, all the functionality people need, and then moves it on to the next level, tying it out to their partners and suppliers and distributors and consultants externally, as well as their customers directly over the internet. For example, Netscape, we began offering HTML email built-in in Navigator 2 last year. We've since found that a full 25% of our business customers use Navigator's built-in email already to compose and manage all their email. This means there are actually already 11 million users of HTML-based email out there. I think by the end of 1997, that number will be more in the range of 100 million or more. This is going to be just a massive, massive revolution. A lot of the media and content providers in this room have recently experienced the benefits of HTML-based email. There's a new program we have called Netscape Inbox Direct, which lets content providers like Ziff Davis or the New York Times, many others, deliver rich content and web pages directly as rich HTML email. In the first 2 weeks of this program, these companies have started emailing their content to more than 500,000 people who signed up. So this is really broad. These companies know exactly who they're mailing to, of course. So they're all able to offer pinpoint marketing to their advertisers. So with these new products I'll be showing, and then the exposed standards-based APIs and services they provide, developers can also now start taking full advantage of this HTML-based email, HTML-based groupware, tied into an entire internet environment, and harness the full power of HTML for much more than just interpersonal messaging or web pages, making it possible to build really powerful groupware applications that were previously too expensive or too hard to build them and deploy them really easily So in short, I think we're about to experience what we call the third wave of the net. The first wave was in 1995, when the internet first sort of burst fully formed into the public consciousness. All the consumer online services started to migrate to the web, and we all saw what happened there. In '96, the developers in this room led the move to take web technologies inside companies for intranets. In 1997, web-based content is pervading email and groupware, so the third wave is emerging, using HTML as a communications medium. This third wave, we think, gives businesses really powerful new ways of working internally, and then lets them connect externally out to these partners and suppliers and customers and external constituencies. So what I'd like to do in the time ahead is get really specific about what we're doing to deliver on this promise in our products, and the types of things that developers are doing in this environment. So first, we'll start with our 1997 product family that really makes this happen. Just so you know, this is the only time in the conference we're going to spend a lot of time specifically on Netscape products. The rest of the conference is entirely hardcore technical stuff. So we're going to talk about products now, talk about what we're just announcing this week, and then do some demos. In 1997, we're expanding our lineup of client and server products to provide what we think is a comprehensive platform for intranets. On the client side first, we're actually unveiling a new product. It's called Netscape Communicator. Communicator is a brand new product that we try to make sure that it provides all the tools everyone needs to get work done every day on their intranets or for the internet, such as creating and sharing information, communicating, working in teams both inside and outside the business, and then also easily using legacy applications or databases, tying into the systems that are already there. Communicator includes a major upgrade of version 4 of the Netscape Navigator browser. The Communicator also includes some new components. The first is Netscape Messenger, which is industrial strength secure email, built entirely on internet standards. Second is Netscape Collabora for industrial strength groupware or discussion groups, which makes it really easy for people to work together in teams. Third is Netscape Conference for real-time audio and data conferencing over intranets. The fourth is Netscape Calendar for enterprise-wide scheduling and calendaring built right into this environment. And then the fifth is an easy-to-use HTML editing tool called Netscape Composer, which works not only for web documents, but also for email and also for group postings. So Navigator is now just one part of this much broader Netscape Communicator client. On the server side, announcing Netscape Sweet Spot 3.0, which is a major new version of our integrated server suite for intranets. And here for each of our client components, we've developed a Gravity corresponding server. These are all new in this release, and there's some really exciting capabilities here for developers and users both. First is Netscape Enterprise Server 3.0, which makes it really easy to manage and control a lot of data, a lot of documents. And it also has a really neat new feature, which we'll see a demo of, intelligent agents built into the server that make it really easy to have users be notified when information or content that's important to them has changed or has been updated. The second is Netscape Messaging Server 3.0, which is an industrial strength email server that supports all the internet standards. Number 3 is the Netscape Collaborative Server 3.0, which is the grouper server for having discussion groups that both work inside and outside of the business. Fourth is Netscape Media Server, which is a new server that delivers streaming audio over both low and high bandwidth networks, based on the new real-time streaming protocol developed by a whole bunch of people in the community, including Progressive Networks and 40 or 45 other partners. And then finally, Netscape Calendar Server, which is a new server that provides calendaring and scheduling that scales up to tens or even hundreds of thousands of people. To round out the server side, there's a collection of infrastructure servers that have already been announced. Just as directory server, all of these are either shipping or in very late beta right now. Actually, they're all shipping. Directory is shipping, I believe, this week, and certificate server ships over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so now I'd like to take a look at a communicator and Sweet Spot in action for a few minutes and talk about how they provide new capabilities that both businesses and developers can take advantage of right away. We're going to show you how one fictional company, Royal Airways, the world's least safe airline, might use Communicator and Sweet Spot to improve the communication and it also streamline the business processes between their own employees and between their customers and partners and suppliers. We're going to meet Martina in the Seattle office of Royal Airways. So Martina, tell me exactly what it is you do at Royal Airways.
Well, Mark, as a senior project manager at Royal, I'm in charge of overseeing the design and deployment of planes from our outside manufacturer. And basically, we went through a period of rapid growth and expansion last year. So we actually ordered 25 new planes from Arius, the Arius 4000 series planes. Today I'm expecting some news on a PO that needs to be approved. So I'm going to go straight into my messenger inbox.
Okay, how did you get there?
I was using the communicator taskbar, which is up here on the top of my screen. You're noticing that it's going to give me quick and easy access access to all the key functionality inside of Communicator, such as the composer, calendar, or conference. Well, looks like I received that message that I was waiting for. This has been generated by our custom purchasing application. You know, Mark, since we've implemented these automated internet applications, the time it's taken us to process a PO has actually been cut by half. So it looks like all the information is there. So I'm just going to click on accept, and you'll notice I'll get JavaScript confirm. Go ahead and click on OK, and we're all set to go. Now I should probably check out those parts that I just approved. So I'm going to go straight into my Collaborate area. Now, Mark, as you can imagine, I spend a lot of my day interacting with employees, partners, and customers. One of the things that's great about Communicator is it enables me to manage all my electronic messages in one central area.
This seems like a lot of information to manage.
It is a lot of information to manage, but I actually have access to hierarchical folders where I can store not only electronic email messages, but also things from discussion groups, and these are corporate discussion groups. And you notice down here below, I've set up a corporate discussion group for our partners at Areas. And this has been a really easy place for us to communicate and collaborate on a common topic. It's been an efficient way to keep the entire team up to date. In addition to being able to store all my messages in hierarchical folders, I also have something here called My Forums, which is actually something called a virtual discussion group. Now, virtual discussion groups allow me to collect and filter through multiple discussion groups and have all the relevant information put into one easy-to-find place. Now, it looks like I found that message that I was looking for. So, before I make any decisions, I'm actually going to try and consult with my counterpart over in New York. So, I'm going to go into Communicator's address book and type in David's name. Let's try David Parker. You're noticing it's finding that for me. And I'm going to click on Call, and since this is tightly integrated with the rest of the Communicator, it's going to automatically initiate an internet phone call for me. David, I can barely hear you. Mind speaking up a bit? David?
Hi, Tina. I was wondering when I hear from you, what's the status on those new planes?
Well, those changes that you requested to the seat back modules have come in. I thought we should probably check them out.
Great. How do they look?
Well, let me go ahead and turn on collaborative browsing so we can check it out together. I'm going to request to lead your browser, and then I'm going to click on survey. I'm hoping this is still going to meet our customers' expectations. What do you think?
Well, let's take a look at the LCD panels and see if all the features made it into the prototype.
Well, it looks like everything's pretty much there, but I'm still really puzzled by this request for a speakerphone on a plane.
Well, you know, that's what they asked for. Hey, let me do this. Let me get in touch with some of the customers, get some feedback. I'll fly out to meet you and Bob in, say, 2 weeks. Can you set up a meeting?
You bet I'll take care of that right away, David. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Martina.
Okay, so now you're going to schedule a meeting for 3 people on 2 coasts. That's usually pretty hard.
Actually, it's not so tough using Communicator's calendaring component. I can schedule a meeting across or with any of the 25,000 employees at Royal Airways. This will actually be eventually integrated with our LDAP directory server, so I could actually schedule a meeting with anyone that was located in that directory. I can go ahead and select the week that I wanted to schedule that meeting for. Customer feedback is the name of the meeting. And now I'm going to select the people that I want to attend that. So Bob needs to be there, and David needs to be there. And then go back and you'll see this button saying check conflicts. I'm going to click on that, and you're noticing I'm getting this red X. That means that we've gone out and queried the calendar server, and it doesn't come up with that time being clear. So I'm going to go and make the request for it to suggest a date and time. I can request for it to make that date and time between certain hours in the day. These people work regular hours, unlike some of us. Go ahead and click on List Suggestions, and you're going to notice it's suggesting some times, most of them pretty normal hours. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the one on Tuesday, click on OK. I'm going to check conflicts once again, and you'll notice I now have that green check mark. That means we're good to go. So I'll click on Yay.
Okay, so now how do Bob and David know the meeting's been scheduled?
Well, you notice, Mark, that right away it asked me if I wanted to mail something to the attendees. I'm going to say yes. And you'll notice that it has automatically generated this text message, which will be sent to all the attendees of the meeting. Everything looks great, so I'll just click on Send, and we're good to go.
Great, thanks, Martina.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, so David, how's your research going?
Mark, the research is going really well. What I've done is I created a discussion group here called Corporate Connections to get feedback from our customers on some of the panel designs. What you can see here is I've actually got a bunch of messages going on. What this corporate discussion group actually lets me do is communicate directly with some of my selected customers. Now, what I want to do is actually post a message to this group to ask them what they think of the new speakerphone. So I'm going to bring up the HTML message composer built into Netscape Communicator. Start typing away into a title.
So it looks like that editor you're using lets you compose HTML. Does it let you drop in Java outputs and JavaScript scripts and things like that?
Yeah, Mark. Anything you can put in into an HTML page, you can put into an HTML message. But the thing that I really like about it is that it helps me create HTML messages really easy. For example, let me just select this text. I'll blow it up to really big. Make it bold, italics. Maybe now I can make it really obnoxious by maybe turning these colors, turn it into yellow. As you can see, it's just really simple. But Mark, in addition to getting some feedback from those corporate customers, what I want to do is get some feedback from one of my coworkers and also one of my outside consultants. So what I'm going to do is bring up the address book built into the Netscape Communicator. And the address book makes it really simple for me to look up email addresses both inside my company and outside the company on the internet. So what I'm going to first do is connect to the Royal Airways Netscape directory server and search for one of my coworkers. I'm going to search over the 25,000 Royal Airways employees. Type in Kevin, hit return, and all of a sudden we'll see Kevin's email address appear. I can double click on it, and his name is added to the recipients list. Now what I want to do is find that consultant outside the company. Well, what I'm going to do now is connect to a LDAP directory server outside on the internet, type in the consultant's name, Mark, hit return, and all of a sudden we'll see Mark's email address appear. I can double click on his name, and it will automatically be added to the recipients list. So as you can see, I have one central place within my communicator to find email addresses on the internet or on the internet. Now, Mark, in addition to sending this message to them, Kevin and Mark, via email, what I also want to do is make sure that it gets to them securely. So what I'm going to do is bring up the security advisor built into the communicator. What you'll notice is that the security advisor is allowing me to do two things. One is it's allowing me to encrypt this message so that only Mark and Kevin can actually read it when they get it in their inbox. The other thing that it's allowing me to do is to digitally sign this message so that both of them know that when they get it, they can realize that I'm the actual author of this email message. So let me hit OK. And Mark, what I'm going to do is just queue up this message to be sent a little bit later today.
Okay, great. We'll check back with David in just a moment. I think we've all seen why all the Royal Airways employees are now too busy creating HTML mail messages. They have no time to do any maintenance on the planes. Let's take a look at sort of what we saw and what was going on under the hood. One thing we saw was radically enhanced email. Email that provides now all the capabilities that you've traditionally found from proprietary systems like Microsoft Exchange or Lotus Notes. Except it's email that's as rich as the web, so it's all just HTML. It can be fully secure, so you can sign and encrypt any message that goes across the network. There's a built-in address book and communicator that can go out to any LDAP-based directory server running on the net, either inside an intranet or out of the internet. These directories can store all kinds of information about people and things, and applications can use these directories directly. You can tie into them, you can add new attributes, you can add new fields, new information, access these directories through applications. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Finally, we saw the ability to do workflow applications inside email now that you can send around HTML forms inside email. People get the forms in their inbox, fill out all the information, do that. It's all just right there, and it's really easy. The second thing we saw was with the new collaborative capabilities, the ability to have both internal and external discussion groups that can be fully access controlled, so you can control exactly who gets access. You can control access as far as who gets to read the discussions or who gets to write to them. You can also define moderators who get a very easy-to-use moderation interface to decide which messages are posted. Third thing we saw was calendaring built in, and again, this scales all the way up to tens or hundreds of thousands of users. It's also really tightly integrated in with email, which provides the ability to notify people who may not even be on the calendaring system of new meetings. And then also provides the capability to let you go offline. When you connect back to the network, everything gets synchronized up. So I think these examples demonstrate that we're really hardcore about messaging, and that there's a huge opportunity here for companies to take advantage of this and for applications to be built on top of this, especially with the really rich email and directories. Okay, so we're going to go back to the demo, and we're going to see some more examples of what we can do. Okay, David, besides being the point person for customer feedback, what else do you do at Royal?
Well, like a lot of other people in Royal Airways, I spend way too much time reading email messages. So let's actually go into my inbox and take a look at what I have there. One of the things that you'll notice inside of my inbox down here on the bottom is that there's a message from the calendar user. Let's take a look at that one. Well, this looks like, oh, okay, this is the message from the calendar server telling me that Martina has scheduled a meeting for me in 2 weeks. that I'm using Netscape filters to actually filter all my email from my boss into a folder called From the Boss. What this allows me to do is make sure that I read my boss's email first thing in the morning. So let's take a look at his message.
Looks like your boss wants you to make sure those new planes get put on the flights with the highest density of business travelers.
Well, that's right, Mark. So in order to do that, well, we need to find out who are our key customers and what are the routes that they fly on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this link embedded into that email message and bring up the Royal Air's Sales Trend Analysis Program. What this is an application that our IS department built literally in a week using Netscape's App Foundry sample applications as a starting point. What I'll then do is basically pick on the ranking tool, and what this is going to show me is what key customers have had the highest sales growth over the past 12 months. And from this application, which is going out to our databases on our back-end servers, it's telling me that those key customers are Millennium, Huber, Subi, and Jaguar.
You'll notice Netscape's not on that list. Royal Airways must store thousands of documents about all these customers. How are you going to find the ones you need that correspond to one of the customers?
Well, Mark, that's where the Netscape catalog server comes in. Catalog server can actually help me find any relevant document located on any server on our entire network. And as you can see here, the catalog server has been completely customized for Royal Airways. So I'm interested in finding out some information about the routes that Millennium actually flies on. So let me do a quick search for Millennium. See if I can type it in right. Enter in Millennium. What I can actually do also with the catalog server is when I can view just a compact view, title, or description, or anything here looking at certain attributes. Let's get title and description, hit search. What it's going to do is find me all the documents where Millennium was either in an attribute or actually in the contents of that document. It's found 11 hits. Let's scroll down here. We're looking for something that talks about key routes and Millennium. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Corporate customers key routes. Let's click on this document and we'll view it. Now, the thing that's great about the catalog server, it can find information not only in HTML, but also in Office documents.
Oh, so is that Microsoft Excel running inside the communicator?
Pretty cool, isn't it? Inside of the Netscape Navigator, not only can you view Excel documents, but you can also edit it. Woo. Woo. It's just kind of integration between the catalog server and Netscape communicator that helped me find quick access to all of my legacy documents, no matter where they are on the network. It's also this kind of integration that's made Royal Airways really competitive.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, so now that you've found that information, what's left to do?
Well, now that I know who the key customers are, now that I know where the flights that they fly, what I need to do is update one of our deployment documents that basically says, hey, where are all those new planes going? Now, what I can do is I can use the enterprise server's checking capability and check out a document that I've been maintaining for the deployment guide. So let me bring up, well, first do is bring up the enterprise server's content management Java application and navigate to the document that I've been working on.
That looks like, from the icon, it looks like a Microsoft Word document. It looks like that we're really working well with Word.
Absolutely. Enterprise Server 3.0 can handle any kind of Microsoft Office document. Now, what I need to do is check this document out. So let's first go to the versions menu, say checkout, and what you'll notice, it brings up the dialog box. I can automatically check it out, and what we'll do is we'll copy that file down to my local file system. Oh, maybe we won't. Here we go. Let's see if we can do it again. Oh, there we go. So what you've noticed is we've actually put a lock flag on this document. Now, if I want to edit this document, all I have to do is double-click on it. And what we're going to do is we'll launch Word directly from the navigator. And now I can actually update that deployment guide. So we all know that we need to send some more planes out to the West Coast because San Francisco got a lot of, has Millennium flying out of there all the time. So let's here update this document. Has sent 6 planes there now. In January, we'll send 2. Central U.S. don't have a lot of customers right now, so we don't need as many planes. We'll decrease the number going there. So I've made the changes. Now what I can do is save this document, then close it, go back to my Java application, check that document back in, why isn't that checking in? Here we go. Now, the document's automatically been checked into the enterprise server.
Okay, so how would the other key people at Royal stay informed of these changes that you just made?
Well, Mark, I'm glad you asked. The Enterprise Server 3.0 has intelligent agent technology built into it. This agent technology, what we've done is set it up so that it automatically notifies key people within the organization when this document happens to change. The agent technology can automatically notify people when a document changes, when a URL changes, or some other event happens on the server. In addition to that, the agent technology is completely customizable through JavaScript in the Enterprise 3.0 server. Hey, Mark, next time you're off to San Francisco, I think you should check in with Kevin, one of our crew chiefs.
Okay, great. Thanks, David. I'll check in with Kevin in San Francisco in just a moment. But first, let's talk about what we've seen, look under the covers a little bit. David walked us through 3 examples of what we've wittily named our embrace and integrate strategy. The first example was we saw how a sales trend analyzer that was actually part of the App Finder program we released about 4 weeks ago. The sales trend analyzer was used to create this custom application that David looked at that tied back into any sort of database that you already had running, like Microsoft or Oracle or Sybase or Informix. Any database. We think that companies really have huge investments in data and databases they already have running, so we want to provide ways to hook into those better and better. The second part of Embrace and Integrate was tying into Microsoft Excel to be able to run Excel spreadsheets through OLA and COM inside the Navigator, and then also allow in-place editing. And in the third example, we were able to use check-in and check-out to the Enterprise server to do document control and version management and ensure the integrity of a Microsoft Word document. And finally, we saw something brand new that I think represents a pretty important breakthrough, which is these intelligent agents built into the Enterprise server that are able to monitor all of the things that happen on the server, or things that happen outside the server, and then notify users when those events happen. People have been talking about agents for a long time. I think finally we've established the platform on the internet and the intranet upon which agents make a lot of sense. So this initial deployment of agents, I think, is going to be pretty exciting. They're fully programmable. They're fully programmable. You can specify what you want them to watch and then what you want them to do when things happen. They can use email, they can post messages, they can do all kinds of things like that. So we think it's a pretty big step forward in making intranets a lot easier to use for ordinary people, because information comes to you instead of you having to always go look for it. Okay, so we're going to go back to the demo real quick for the last part. Our intelligent agent has just notified Kevin that one of the documents that he relies on for his job just changed. And in this final segment, you're going to get a look at some of the enhancements we've made to Navigator itself. Okay, so now we're in San Francisco. This is Kevin. Kevin's madly scrambling to hook up his computer.
keep up to date on all the new features so we can keep those planes so safe. I was just checking my inbox here. And it looks like I got a new message from the enterprise server. Let's see what it is. Well, it looks like we're going to get some of those new Areas 4000 planes in here early. That's great, but it means I need to start boning up on the new features. So I'm going to start here at our Royal Airways production and deployment homepage, where I have links to status updates and deployment schedules, but also our Internet Training Center. You know, it used to be that our employee education department would put together quarterly CDs, and often the information would be out of date before I even received it. But now, with our Netscape Internet, I can always be sure I'm looking at the most up-to-date information. The page you're about to see was created in about a week, and it uses Navigator's new support for layers. Well, we'll see the rest.
Hello, and welcome to the Royal Airways Computer-Based Training Center. The current program introduces flight crew members to customer convenience features of the Areas 4000, the newest and most state-of-the-art transcontinental airliner in the Royal Airways fleet. Our program is divided into 4 separate sections: layout and facilities, in-flight entertainment, business communication services, food services. Please work through the sections at your own pace and in an order that suits you. When you have reviewed all the information, you may follow the certification hyperlink available from the main menu.
As I was saying, this new page here was created in about a week using Navigator's new support for layers, absolute positioning, and streaming audio. Let's take a quick look at the new Business Communication Center, and you can see how the streaming audio will come down automatically. I don't have to download a separate sound file.
Business communication aboard the 4000 starts with a full-service telephone, fax, and data transmission panel. Pass your mouse over the panel to find the key feature areas. Click on an area to hear more detail.
Here you can see we're using the layers feature to highlight each area as I move the mouse over it. Let's just take a quick look at the power center. See how that works.
An integrated power center that allows a passenger to plug in either a laptop or portable fax machine and run on AC power.
Well, that was really great. I'm just going to send a quick email off to the team congratulating them on their hard work and a job well done, pulling everything together and keeping us all informed.
style sheets, absolute positioning, layering, new font support, full support for the HTML object tag, and so on. We're supporting all the existing standards in areas like style sheets and fonts, and some of the new areas, in fact, all the new areas like absolute positioning and layering. We're submitting proposals to the W3C and ITF. You'll hear about a lot of these innovations in great detail in the rest of the conference, but they let you create really compelling content really quickly with a lot of freedom from a lot of the limitations that you've historically seen. Okay, to close the demo, I'd like to thank Martina, David, Kevin, and the rest of the team. I think basically what this demo shows is that in our effort to try to be the best possible partner for you and for our customers, we're trying to deliver the best technology with really seamless integration across all platforms, all databases, all networks, all operating systems, that also delivers the best value. So I think that's a pretty good story. Okay. Now that we've seen the demo and seen the products, let's pull back the covers, talk about the architecture a little bit, and see some examples of how developers are using the architecture, some of the new tools that are coming out. Netscape 1 is the basis on which we built our entire new family of products. More importantly, it's the basis for the exciting applications and content tools that a lot of you are creating. We've got a great slide here that shows what Netscape 1 is. To developers' head, Netscape 1 is the combination of APIs, services, and tools that make it easy to create these types of applications, these types of tools based on these open standards. To developers' heart, Netscape 1 is the opportunity to invent entirely new classes of applications or services in new market spaces. And I think they have a lot of fun again. And then finally, to developers' wallet, again, we think it's just a huge opportunity. If you're an ISV, it's a $10 billion opportunity for software alone. If you're an IT professional, it's the opportunity to really extend the reach of your infrastructure you have inside your business now, and to get these huge returns on investment. If you're in the media business, it's the opportunity to distribute this great live content over the web or over email to exciting, to just a huge community of 45 million users. So let's look at the technical aspects in some detail. As we talked about before, the basis for this third wave of the net is the richness of HTML. What we do is we use Live Connect to wire together all the different objects that can be incorporated in HTML. So now with Communicator 4.0, that includes everything from Java and JavaScript objects. We're going to provide full support for Java Beans components, Olay, ActiveX, OpenDoc, and other legacy platform-specific objects. Multimedia. We still wouldn't actually suggest that you use them, but plugins. Communicator uses HTML as the basis for browsing as well as for messaging and discussions. So it plugs right into all of those things. The communicator itself exposes lots of APIs and protocols. You can write to the core Java APIs directly. You can also write to the Internet Foundation classes to very quickly piece together Java applications. These IFCs provide Java class libraries that serve as sort of really prefabricated building blocks for great apps. And then Java and JavaScript themselves can now be used directly to access any of the protocols through which the different components on the client side talk to all the components on the server side. Protocols like HTTP for document access or SMTP for email, NFTP for discussions, LDAP for directories, the new RTSP real-time streaming protocol for streaming audio and video. These APIs, which are accessed through Java or JavaScript or C through the IFCs, are really good because they then emit standard protocols off the back, so you can communicate with any server from any vendor, Netscape, or anyone else that implements these standard protocols. Of course, we're pretty happy when communicators connected to Netscape servers, so we do supply a complete match set of servers in the sweet spot to provide a symmetrical set of both Java and JavaScript capabilities, and then IFC interfaces that can go out and talk to the client. So this means that applications can be partitioned across the clients and servers using the same tools and the same languages. You write a Java object in the client that talks to the server over a common protocol like LDAP or HTTP or vice versa. Our enterprise server actually also offers its own plugin API, so you can create server plugins. A lot of companies have done that. And then you can also now use Live Connect on the server side to connect Java and JavaScript and plugin objects together. Okay, the other thing to notice is that even the management servers and the infrastructure servers in Sweet Spot can be accessed over standard protocols. So off the back end, you can access the directory server through LDAP. For example, you can do that to tie together different directory systems like a Novell NDS directory to an Netscape directory server, or an existing application or even a database to the directory. You can also programmatically control the catalog server and add new content, publish all kinds of new content to it for it to search and index through a couple of standards called RDM and SLIF, which come out of the Harvest Project at the University of Colorado. This gives you the ability to publish content in any format richly to the catalog server, which the catalog server can then organize and make searchable. And then finally, of course, enterprise server can be connected itself directly to Oracle informing Sybase Microsoft databases over SQL. The next aspect to the architecture is the introduction of IIOP, which stands for Internet Inter-Org Protocol. IIOP is the standard internet protocol for having objects So with these products, you can instantly start writing Java objects or objects in any other language that take advantage of this infrastructure and do what are essentially remote procedure calls or method calls very easily between objects over the network. For one thing, this is really nice for legacy connections because it means that you can use IOP to connect back to existing host-based systems or databases or anything that implements Corba or implements IOP directly. It's going to be really easy to add IOP into existing legacy systems. We'll see that in the demo coming up. IOP is going to be added everywhere throughout our product family, so we're going to add it to all the services and expose all the services we provide and all the products through IOP. So actually, over the very, very long term, IOP will probably end up replacing most of the current protocols in use in the internet. And the entire internet will start to look like a huge world of objects, millions and millions of objects running everywhere on the network that'll just talk to each other and call on each other, provide a consistent way for naming and directory and security of all these different services. But it's something you're going to start to be able to take advantage of right away, and then it'll evolve a lot over the next couple of years. Okay, so when we put it all together, we see that what's here is basically a complete set of standards-based APIs and services across both the front end and the back end that make it really easy to build the types of business applications, enterprise applications that may also span out to the internet that really solve real business problems today. These hooks are all embodied in Communicator and SweetSpot, and really allow you to extend Communicator and SweetSpot out of the box, allow you to extend them significantly. So we'd like to look at some of the new capabilities in the platform that we've added that are showing up in new products. We won't have time today to review all of those enhancements in detail, but there's 3 full days of 5 technical tracks coming up where everything here is explored in great detail. So instead, I'd like to highlight 4 key areas and have a couple of demos with a couple of our partners. Here's what we're doing as a basic overview. First, advancing the art of multimedia and HTML. Second, enriching the entire Java and JavaScript environment, both the client and the server. Third, providing a seamless integration with existing desktop and enterprise systems. And fourth, ensuring that developers are able to see and use the benefits of a huge set of very rich tools. So to talk about those in more detail, let's look at some of the ways that HTML and multimedia are moving very quickly on the net and what these enhancements mean. Absolute positioning is a brand new capability which you saw demonstrated, which lets any object in an HTML page, a Java applet, a plugin, an HTML element, whatever, be positioned anywhere on the screen. So it really removes all those layout limitations people are used to. So it's possible to now create content with the same degree of control that you've normally associated with CD-ROM multimedia. multimedia, you can define the exact pixel placement of everything on the screen. Layering makes it possible to lay out pages by virtually stacking or layering individual pages on top of each other. You can control the transparency of these layers so that you can basically set the X, Y, and Z coordinates on any object on the page. You can also then animate them by scripting them. It's pretty exciting. The capabilities make it possible to create interactive multimedia content. So, for example, you could layer a video clip over other HTML pages, and then you can create a UI control on the side that toggles which layer appeared on top. So you can make the video control appear and disappear. A third area is in style sheets. Style sheets really ease the creation and management of content using template-style formatting, like people have typically seen in word processors. We support the full CSS style sheet specification. We also support a new proposal that we made at W3C, which is for JavaScript-based style sheets that actually let Java style sheets be fully programmable on the fly, which is pretty exciting. So that lets you use some pretty sophisticated styling. The fourth area of innovation in HTML and multimedia is in the Macromedia Fireworks API. What we have going on here is that a lot of third parties like Adobe and Macromedia and others are really advancing the state of the art of HTML by adding new capabilities inside the framework. So, for example, Adobe has Bravo for advanced 2D rendering. Macromedia has new technology called Fireworks for multimedia authoring. Inside Java, it's a set of Java APIs for doing everything that people are used to seeing in Director. As Netscape was previously announced, we're working really closely with Macromedia to build the Fireworks API into Navigator 4.0. So to show Fireworks right now and show what it lets you do, I'd like to introduce Paul Mader, who's Macromedia's Director of Java Authoring Tools Engineering, to join me up on stage. Paul.
Thanks, Mark. How many of you folks would consider yourself Java developers? Can I see a show of hands? And how many of you folks out there have actually bought a Java book? See a hands for that. Okay, significantly more. Yeah. Well, there's a reason there's so many banners applets out on the web. My group has been working with Java for the last year, and immediately we found that there were certain things that were lacking. One of which is a good set of graphics APIs. Also missing were a good set of sound APIs and a number of other things we've grown used to in the C world. And we've had for quite a long time inside of Director. So what we've
I'm going to be demoing today in Applet Viewer. It's entirely a Java program. What I'd like to warn you about right up front is yesterday I was fine-tuning this particular demo, and the fire alarm did go off. So if you guys smell smoke or anything like that, it's probably just this machine. Don't worry about it. The Fireworks API includes support for 4-channel stereo sound mixing. The sound mixing occurs in real time. What you see here is a whole series of effects. Everything that you see is actually a 16-bit image, 640 by 480. There are no flip books anywhere. Everything that you see is actually being calculated on the fly. So all the opening intro screens that you saw were actually examples of transitions. Here you see an example of a blend effect. The satellite I can grab and move around. You can see that there's a mask associated with this particular image as I move around. In the lower left, you see a monitor. That animation that you see is actually a 1-bit image. It's being colorized on the fly at lit time. So as I go around to the various navigation regions, you see it comes into focus on various places on Earth. Here's a demo showing 16-bit dithered spotlights that actually have an example of color ink effect. As they overlap, they reveal more of the image below. In all cases, as I go through this demonstration, each area was only a few hundred lines of Java code. Typically, if you try to do one of these things in Java, for those of you who are Java developers, you can lean over and mention to your friends some of the performance that you're seeing here is not something that you typically get out of Java. This is an example of the built-in transitions. Not only do we have a number of graphics APIs that are considered low-level in terms of the blending capability they provide, but we also provide a series of transitions that are built in. So with minimal coding, just a couple of lines, you can invoke any of over 50 transitions. see a selection. In this case, we're randomly choosing the transition and randomly choosing the graphic to transition to on the fly. And you also see an example of an ink effect down here by the observer. This is an example of pure blitz speed. Here, this is a parallax scroller. There's about 12 different bitmaps whose each position is being calculated on the fly. I can actually grab this car and hold on to it to prove that it's not a flipbook image. You also see on the boat there's a mask associated with the jet spray there. Let's take a look at some of the color ink effects. And at the tip of the hat to Kai's power tools, you see the monocle. In the monocle, I can choose any of a number of colors, and I can see how that color effect changes in real time the image below. In fact, some of the engineers had a secret little message there. But wait, now how much would you pay? Actually, it's going to be free and included in the next version of Netscape. But there's more. Not only do we have support for all of these graphics APIs, but we also support Netscape plugins playing back inside of Java. So, for example, if you have shockwave content that you happen to like, it was created in a nifty tool called Director, and you'd like to play that back inside of Java, we actually support that. For those of you who've seen shockwave audio, you might remember this demo from Capitol Records. Where we actually load up a shockwave jukebox. This is all now inside of Shockwave. Care to pick a song, Mark?
Oh, let's go with the first one.
You're an old-fashioned guy. that's the Fireworks API. It'll be available in the next release of Netscape, and my team that codes exclusively in Java is pretty excited to have these capabilities, and I hope you are as well.
Great. Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, let's talk about JavaScript a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so rather than limit Java and JavaScript languages to produce objects sealed in a proprietary wrapper, we like to treat Java and JavaScript as fundamental elements that have access to all these resources. So here's some of the ways that we're trying to support these technologies and enhance them. Internet Foundation classes are really intended to be Java class libraries that act as building blocks for quickly assembling Java-based applications, both the client and the server side. IFCs for user interface widgets are already available. We've got technical sessions on that this week. We're also soon going to ship IFCs to provide directory access, web publishing, messaging access, so on. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. Capabilities-based object signing is a new feature of Navigator 4 that opens up the power of Java and JavaScript by letting you take an object and letting you provide different levels of capability to it to allow it to do different things in the local machine. So, for example, this capability provides multiple levels of access can be granted to an object. One object might be prevented from taking any action on a local machine. Another object from a trusted source might be given specific privileges to write to a temp directory, maybe. We think this kind of flexibility is really essential for real-world deployment that lets software companies sign objects to do specific things. It lets IT administrators sign objects, and it lets individuals sign objects in different ways for different things. Live Connect, think of Live Connect as the bus that connects all these different programmable elements together in either communicator or also on the back end of the servers. All the different objects we do, we expose through Netscape 1, so we'll even take legacy objects like open.components or lake components and expose methods and properties of them through Live Connect so that they can communicate seamlessly with Java applets, Fireworks applets, plugins, or other kinds of objects. So you could have a JavaScript button that triggers a Java applet. You can have a plugin audio player that might call on the Fireworks API. You can tie all these things together pretty seamlessly. Another example of using JavaScript in this environment is in the communicator and the email interface that you saw. There's the filtering capability that lets people set up filters. There's a bunch of predefined filters you can draw on, or you can actually write your own as a user. So you can write JavaScript-based filters that take a look at all the different elements of the message that comes in and decide what to do with it. So this lets you actually use filters to do basic workflow applications. we're trying to take Java and JavaScript, and we're really trying to expose more and more of the underlying interfaces in our own products, and we're trying to make those available to everyone. We certainly encourage everyone developing either applications or tools to create as many Java or JavaScript hooks as possible and expose those out. And it makes it really easy to tie these systems together. Okay, now we want to talk about what we call embrace and integrate. We talked about this a little bit before. What we're trying to do here is protect the existing investments in systems that are already running in the business, or we're trying to protect also existing investments that developers have already made, for example, in binary components that have been created for a specific platform. One aspect of this is embracing now a pretty broad spectrum of Microsoft technologies, including support for OLED, COM, and ActiveX and Windows 95 desktops. This is specifically intended to let you leverage investments you've already made in tools like Visual Basic, Power Builder, or Delphi. We're also providing tight integration with both Office 95 and Office 97. You saw some of the Office integration already. We're going to add support for integrating with Office 97's web publishing capability and a lot of new UI hooks that we're going to be able to build in. So you're going to be able to publish directly from Office 97 from Word, for example, out to a Netscape server running on any platform on the back end. We're going to extend support for Microsoft SQL Server database systems management server and just build that in. We're going to extend support for Windows NT system services like directories and security. So users will be able to have a single login to both all of the Netscape server-based resources as well as all of the Windows NT-based resources. Just once, come in the morning, log in once, get access to everything. So I think what's really great about this is it combines all these great technologies from Microsoft. It combines it with everything else that's out there. So it actually ties together this whole thing. So you can take all these technologies and you can pick and choose from lots of different OS vendors or system vendors and tie it all together pretty seamlessly. You have a single directory, a single approach to security, a single way to develop applications without giving up anything. So the goal is to provide this seamless integration. In particular, this is why IOP and Corba is so important. IIOP is what we're looking to as the ideal technology over the long run to tie everything together. We think it's really the ultimate one-stop shopping point for being able to tie together all kinds of distributed resources over a network like this, and both integrate these existing technologies like databases and applications with all the new technologies and applications that you all are developing. Okay, an aspect of this is how on all of our servers, we're now providing IFCs that expose APIs for the functionality of each of the servers. These IFCs are all going to be available through Java, JavaScript, and C, running on the server side. So for example, in Enterprise Server 3, there's a set of IFCs that are specifically for accessing the publishing and content store. There's also a set of IFCs now for messaging, so you can actually write applications in Java or JavaScript that send and receive email messages. So you can now write a Java application, business application, runs fully on the server, and interacts with the user entirely through email. Using SMTP and IMAP as the protocols that make that happen. Okay, now let's talk about tools for a few minutes. I think we're all benefiting from a huge availability of a lot of tools that have emerged over the last 12 months. I think it's really exciting, all the tools activity that's taking place right now. No matter what you want to do in this environment, at this point, there's probably a tool that does it. It's probably created by someone in this room. Many of the tools created by all these vendors span multiple categories. We've tried to provide a rough categorization of the tools. And I'd like to acknowledge some of the key ones in the space, some of the ones we think are really exciting. Java integrated development environments have just exploded, and some of the great ones that are out there now are Asymmetrics and Supersede. MetroWorks Code Warrior, Natural Intelligence's Roaster, and also Sunsoft's new Java Workshop. Visual builders provide the ability to knit together different objects written in Java and other languages into applications. These include NetObjects Fusion, Borland's IntraBuilder, PowerSoft's really exciting new Net Impact Studio product, which is sort of like Power Builder for the net. And then also new exciting products from tools from AIMTech and Penumbra. Third category is site management tools. These let you take all the objects and applications and so on and organize them into a site. These include tools from companies like Wallop and MediaShare and NetObjects. HTML authoring tools, there's a lot of innovation happening here with Adobe's PageMill, Claris Homepage, Hot Metal from SoftQuad, HotDog, lots of others. And then finally, to bridge the gap between the web and all these enterprise systems that are already running, or all these databases and applications people have, are great new tools from vendors like Next, Informix, Borland, Everywhere, and NetDynamics. One vendor who's making a particularly strong commitment to the Netscape 1 technologies and to the Internet Foundation classes is Symantec. And so I'd like to introduce you right now to Monster Safai, who's the general manager of Symantec's Internet Tools Division, who will show us what they're doing. Monster?
Okay. Let me find my machine. It's up there, yes. As you know, at Symantec, we have committed to the Java development tools market very early on. Actually, Symantec Cafe was the very first development environment available anywhere on any platform. And as of today, IDC we think is actually around 85% will sell for 75. But without further ado, I want to talk to you a little bit about our new tool called Visual Cafe. Visual Cafe is our new rapid application development tool for Java. A lot of people are actually asking us, what's the difference between Cafe and Visual Cafe? Well, Cafe is more like a C++ development environment, but for Java, whereas Visual Cafe is more like a Visual Basic or Delphi for Java development. It allows you to do form-based development, where you can do drag and drop on the screen and generate code automatically, do event handling. We also have a neat tool called Interaction Wizard. I'll show it to you in a little bit. We have a whole set of pre-built Java components that come with the product, so you can actually build apps very quickly. There's a Java class browser and advanced debugger, and also 3-tier web-based database access. What that means is that you're going to be able to run a thin Java client on your Navigator browser, and you're going to be able to have a middle-tier app server actually do your SQL access for you. And all of this is available on Windows and Macintosh. But I'm specifically proud today to announce a partnership that we've set up with Netscape to be able to provide you a lot of support, actually very comprehensive support for Netscape 1 right inside Visual Cafe. What Visual Cafe is going to allow you to do is you're going to allow you to build IFC applications using drag and drop. You're going to be able to actually grab components, IFC components, drag them onto a form, and it's going to generate the code for you. We're going to host a bunch of IFC components right into the component library in Visual Cafe and provide you the capability of using the interaction wizard to interact between different IFC components. You're going to be able to do class browsing. We're also going to go ahead and integrate the Java debugger right inside the Navigator browser. And we're also happy to announce today that we have integrated the just-in-time compiler version to a Navigator that's going to be shipping with the next version of Navigator. And last but not least, one of the big items I think that we've seen at Symantec is that support is very important these days. Support for developers, because Java, Internet, intranet, all these things are actually very new for a lot of us. And a lot of us, when we're doing these things, we need to be able to go ahead and go online and ask a question and have people help us. Sometimes other developers, sometimes the vendor who's actually user-friendly. So one of the things we're doing here is that with Netscape, we're co-hosting a forum online on their DevEdge site on the Netscape website. But let's go ahead and get out of this presentation, and I'm going to try to show you some beta software. So let's cross our fingers so we're going to be able to go through it. Here's Visual Cafe. Actually, this is Visual Cafe Pro running. And I'm going to show you a few of the typical things. Here's actually some tabs of pre-built components in Java. Notice the IFC tabs. We can see pre-built IFC components. Let's go ahead and bring up the component library. Apart from typical controls and components that everybody has in these visual environments, we have actually a component library where you can actually build your own components and store them in there. And you can, for example, browse them here. Here's some additional components that we have. Here's some project templates, let's say for a company that wants to have every template for a Java app have the logo on the upper left or whatever. Let's go ahead and start doing something. For example, here, let's go ahead and, for example, grab a button. Let's call this one Do It. Let's grab another button and put it on the screen. Call this one Stop It. And let's go ahead and go to our component library, go to our additional components. I'm going to take a component called Firework, which is actually a set of Java classes. I'm going to just drag and drop it on the form here. So here's the component. We don't know what it does. There's a whole bunch of Java classes. We want to actually deal with it. It's actually not the Fireworks component that we saw before in the previous demo, but maybe it should be. So let's go ahead and grab our interaction wizard. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the interaction wizard and say, whenever we click on Do It, we want to do something with these components. And the interaction wizard comes up and it says, well, wait a second. The button understands click, and you want to interact with Fireworks, which is realized here. And it's when I interrogated Fireworks and says, what can you do for us? And it says, well, I can either freeze all the rockets or I can unfreeze all the rockets. Notice it's in English. It's not some, cryptic programmatic call with a lot of parameters. We can say unfreeze all the rockets for Do It. And that generated the code. Let's do another one of these hard programming tasks. Stop it. And let's go ahead and say unclick. We want to connect to this guy and we want to freeze all the rockets. All we have to do at this point is go ahead and execute this app. This is going to go ahead and run the compiler, which is the fastest compiler on the planet, by the way, and unlike what Microsoft is telling you. And here's our Fireworks running. gonna say stop it. And you can say, do it. Stop it. Do it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get out of this kind of like, multimedia demo. Let me show you actually something a little bit more fun, maybe. Actually, this one was fun. I'll choose something more serious. Let's go ahead and close this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and run and ask to run a new project. Notice that when I say new project comes up with a series of templates. One of the templates here says it's the database wizard. I'm going to go ahead and double click on the database wizard. Code name Merlin, actually. It comes up and it says, hey, what's your server name? I drop down and you notice that I actually have an application server running in the middle tier. I can press next. It's going to go ahead and actually right now it's going to a middle tier application server called DB Anywhere, which is connecting to a Sybase server. And if it ever does it, I guess not. Well, I guess that was it. Very nice. Called Ubiquitous software. Here we go. Wait timed out. Okay, great. Thank you. Let's cancel out of here. Let's go ahead and see if we can relaunch this guy. And let's go ahead and here's Sybase actually running. When we go ahead and get rid of this guy, I'm going to quickly try to run it because I don't have a lot of time up here. So if it doesn't work, then you're going to have to just believe me. Let's go ahead and run, actually, first of all, Sybase. Run their data source. Let's go ahead and run DB Anywhere. Let's see, you get additional stuff here. You get actually to see how it's going to look like. So here's DB Anywhere, which actually runs as a service. And let's go ahead and run Visual Capture Pro. And we'll do one more try, and if this doesn't work, we'll actually do the last demo. I'll let Mark go on. But one of the things that yesterday for free to all the attendees of the Netscape conference. And actually, I was supposed to say, go to the semantic booth. They told me 10 times. I'm sorry. I remember. Okay. Just because it's single database wizard. See this one if we can connect this time. Let's go and try to do the live connection here. It doesn't look like it. He's not happy about something. Okay, I'll just invite you to come if possible to the booth and look at this. I don't know what's working here. Let's go ahead and show you the last demo here. One of the things I talked to you about a little bit earlier is about the fact that we have actually a new just-in-time compiler. For those of you who are not familiar with just-in-time compilers, just-in-time compilers are things that allow Java to go faster than it's supposed to run. And I was not supposed to say that. So anyway, one of the things there is that we wanted to make it faster. We did actually a just-in-time compiler that used to be the fastest one until a big company on the Northwest came out with their just-in-time compiler. And one of the things that we did is we developed a new just-in-time compiler over the last few months, which is now by far the fastest just-in-time compiler out there. So what I have here actually is a whole pile of benchmarks that we found all over the net. There's tons of Java benchmarks out there. Here's Drystorm running exception catching Fibonacci series, Hanoi Tower, Lintac floating point benchmark, Civ, sorting, quick store, here's actually a little code we have saying this is semantic 118. So you know it's true. Thanks very much for your time.
That's exciting. So, because of all this great technology they've done, what we're doing is we're forming a close working partnership with Symantec to promote Visual Cafe as a premier Java visual development environment to enterprise developers. It's the strong support for Java and for the one technology the IFC is going to make this into a really good tool to quickly piece together these applications. Okay, so I want to talk for a few minutes about what we're doing in our developer programs, what we're doing for developer support, co-marketing, and to help make you money. What we're doing is continuing to deepen our commitment to the success of the developer community in general. We're investing a lot of resources, a lot of time and energy into this. So I'd like to review some of the resources already in place, talk about some of the things that we're doing. The developer program DevEdge is providing a pretty broad technical resources like documentation, code examples, also developer support both online in forums and then also on a one-on-one basis. If you haven't talked to the folks at DevEdge and Netscape, I'd encourage you to give them a call or drop them a note over email. There's a lot of information on our site about how to do that. With additions like the new Semantic Tools Forum, I think DevEdge Online is going to be a really good place for developers and tools vendors and ISVs and so on to all meet, communicate, talk to each other, and learn a lot. App Foundry is a program we launched about 4 weeks ago, which we put in place to help jumpstart enterprise developers' ability to prototype and to roll out the types of intranet applications that we see a lot of our customers starting to do. The other part of App Foundry is to do co-marketing support for ISVs and consultants who create Java, JavaScript, HTML-based applications for businesses and want to reach out to these IT professionals. So App Foundry has a whole set of partners who are VARs and ISVs and consultants who create sample template applications in source code form and make those available under the App Foundry program, which then gets marketed and promoted by Netscape and through all of our partners, like all of the Unix vendors, Compaq, and lots of the other computer companies to go out to all these IT professionals. So this lets the IT professionals download and deploy these fully functioning template applications, modify them and retrofit them to the business, or call in the ISV to provide a full-fledged version of the app, or call in the consultant or VAR to integrate a version of the app for a specific business. This is pretty exciting. We have about 30 vendors in there right now with about 30 sample apps. That number should go to 100 or more by the end of the year. If anyone is interested in contributing into this and participating, please let us know. We'd be happy to include just about anyone. We've had over 13,000 This is attracting a lot of attention from the sort of cream of the crop of the IT professionals who are looking to really aggressively do intranets in their companies. We think this is key to that $10 billion opportunity we were talking about. Okay, a new program that we're announcing today is called Netscape One Experts. And this is the training and qualification system for proficiency in this environment. What we're trying to do here is provide a comprehensive program to increase the number of platform proficient developers. This will ensure that Netscape One Experts understand the platform, are proficient in the tools, and then are also fully capable of creating applications for immediate deployment. There's really two benefits to this. If you're a corporate developer, this delivers a deeper knowledge and understanding just right away out of the box of what you need to know. The other is for consultants, this provides the co-marketing benefit of being listed in the Netscape One directory, and we'll have a lot of promotional activities underway for this program. And you can, today you can drop by the DevEdge Cafe to learn a lot more about this program. The Netscape One directory is an online directory catalog of both third-party software products as well as consultants. We're going to keep beefing this up a lot. It makes it easy for users to locate applications and services in this environment. It also will serve as a directory for Netscape One Experts. So we're going to, over the next several months, we're going to boost promotion and expansion of this directory, make it a lot more visible, make it into a real benefit both for customers to be able to come in and find these resources, and for ISVs and consultants to be able to promote yourselves. Finally, Netscape today runs one of the busiest locations on the web with about 100 million hits a day. And it's now actually going global. We've got like 50 different servers spread out all over the world and a bunch of T3s. What we're trying to do is we're trying now to expand the site to provide distribution assistance to software vendors in this environment through a program we have called One-Stop Software. What this does, at first, One-Stop Software is for developers who can provide the latest versions of software to your customers. So one first step, for example, is we're expanding Inbox Direct to provide a new product notification service for ISVs. You can sign up for this, and then the customers can sign up for this, and then they get emailed on a regular basis information about products and developments that are happening in this space, and you can email them directly. The second thing we're doing is creating an update center for ISVs. Today we use One-Stop Software to lead users to plugins. When a user comes in a new MIME type that they don't understand on the net, for example, it automatically goes to the One-Stop Shopping site on our place on our site, and it tells them these are the plugins that you need, and it makes them easy to download. As we release Communicator, we'll use Communicator's new auto-update technology to make that really seamless, so the new the next step beyond that over the next couple of months is we're going to create a network of online marketplaces for software components and full-fledged applications that will take all these different software products people are developing and deliver them directly to customers for money. So essentially the process will be write a piece of software, submit it to this network of online marketplaces, money comes right back to you as people buy the software. Ooh. So we think that's going to be pretty exciting. There's going to be a bunch of partners we can work with on that, so we can build a pretty broad presence for that, and we can really get the message out about the great new products that are coming out from a lot of people. So in short, we're trying to convert the potential energy of our website, which is clearly there, into the kinetic energy that we need to support all of you. Okay, so just to put it all together, I think you'll agree that this is a pretty exciting opportunity, it's a pretty exciting platform, and an exciting new market space. There's a lot of great innovations that are happening now on making it easy to do internet applications and making it easy to extend those out to the internet. There's a lot of tools that are coming out and being developed. There's a lot of resources that are being added to help make people successful. So we spent a lot of time talking about the future of the platform and what's coming. This is all very real today, and to illustrate this fact, we'd like to have 5 key Netscape ISVs who are creating great new software products in this environment to join us to demonstrate these really exciting applications, to highlight various aspects of the program. We do want to note that there are many, many applications on display here at the conference. We'd encourage you to go look at them and spend some serious time there. There's an exhibition with a lot of our partners. I encourage you to spend some time checking them out. What we wanted to do here was highlight some key applications being developed in 4 specific areas. One is in developer technology, horizontal technology that many developers can take advantage of. Another is in vertical development, developer technology, where for a specific market space, which we'll talk about, people can create applications on top of these foundations. The third is for legacy systems integration, making it easy to take mainframes and databases that are already running and tie them in. Then the fourth, finally, we have a great demonstration of the pure Java and IFC app, we think is really great. So the first demo we're going to see is from Autodesk. It's the Autodesk Map Guide program, which is a great example of how enterprise apps are built on top of Netscape 1. This is a vertical developer technology that developers can take and develop map-based or graphical information system-based applications very easily on the net and distribute them out as broadly as you want. So for that, I'd like to introduce Rob Monroe, who's Director of Internet Technology at Autodesk.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here to demonstrate to Autodesk's newest technology for the internet and for intranets called MapGuide. MapGuide is the world's first network-centric geographic information systems technology, and is specifically designed for the architecture of the web for internet and intranet applications. MapGuide delivers new capabilities to put mission-critical applications into major industries like telecommunications, transportation, energy, oil and gas, and all levels of government. The web page you see in front of you is a sample web page that might be typical of a web page I might use and develop for an application at a municipality or any utility. Here I'm using multiple frames to provide the end user with menu options, real-time information, additional menu options over here that I can modify on the fly, reports, and in this frame, the map guide plugin. The map guide plugin is a multi-layer, vector-based geographic mapping client that has features such as visibility by scale, active legend control, spatial selection capabilities, and a lot of other features that allow you to develop an application on the fly. Here the map guide plugin is representing and drawing new layers of information depending on the current scale of the map view. And I can spatially query a map view at any time. For example, I'll do a select radius here in downtown San Francisco, selecting 14 map objects, and then I can go and ask to receive information about those selected objects. I'll then go to a real-time database and bring up a report of information about that area. Let's look at how I might implement this technology for the Marin County water utility. What I'm going to do is load a sewer and water map, and one of the most powerful features within MapGuide is the ability to expose information automatically based on objects that are visible in the current map view. In this case, we have 3 active incidents: a water line rupture here, a power failure here, and an earthquake simulation going on downtown. You can see that just a simulation. You can see that MapGuide is automatically driving dynamic reports from this real-time database over to this frame. And this frame that's coming out of that relational database includes an embedded link from the field, which allows me to zoom the map immediately to the location of the problem. Now, in this example, I'm a service operator, and it's my job to notify people who are going to be affected by this service. So if this is the area where the rupture is taking place, I'm going to have to shut off these three valves. So I'll use another spatial query to draw a complex polygon here. Let's say here, which is going to select the actual parcels affected by the line rupture. Now I'd like to retrieve a report showing me the customers that I have to contact. That's dynamically coming out of my database. You can see that a lot of our customers are on the web, so I can now start informing them online. There are some nice features in the new Netscape technology earlier that I could integrate to make that whole process automatic. In my last example, I'd like to load a transportation network in order to show you how easy it is using Live Connect and JavaScript to take a specific technology like Map Guide and implement it and then change it on the fly and redeploy it to your end user community. In this situation, in this example, I've loaded a map that is calling Map Guide without toolbars or button bars because this is for a real-time 911 dispatcher who doesn't need menus. He knows what's showing up on his map. And over here, I've used JavaScript to have functions from within JavaScript use Live Connect to call features inside of Map Guide, such as the zoom feature. So I'll then zoom down to a new level of scale at which I'm going to start to see additional levels of information. Here I can see the location of all of the emergency vehicles in the downtown San Francisco area, and there's that incident with the earthquake simulation. I can see there's quite a few emergency vehicles in this part of the city right now. What I'd like to do is set up this button over here to immediately zoom back to this exact location with a 1 mile map width anytime I want to check on the status of those vehicles. And I'd also like to enable the auto refresh that will turn this into a real-time map. Looking at the script, you can see that we've enabled here a Java function using JavaScript that refreshes the map. And I'm going to change this to 2,000 milliseconds, or redraw the map every 2 seconds. And later on down in this HTML document, I'm going to change the text on this button from incident to earthquake.
this text string and I'll have it zoomed to a 1 mile radius. Now I'll save that document back, bring back up Navigator, refresh, and you can see that over here, this button now indicates that I can use that at any time I like to zoom this particular map down to a 1 mile radius. At this level, Map Guide is automatically generating labels to the objects. I can see these emergency vehicles, and I can turn the auto refresh feature on, which is going to refresh that map window every 2 seconds, allowing me to monitor the time at which these vehicles start to disperse. We are demonstrating Map Guide in our booth at the Technology Pavilion, and Autodesk is sponsoring the neighborhood pub tonight. I'd like to invite all of you to join us and have a look at the technology, and thank you very much.
Super. So I think that's a great technology that can be used out of the box to help people build these mapping-based applications. For the first time ever, it's possible for people to now build mapping applications inside of the business that can be extended out to everyone. You can take these applications, make them available to 3 million people if you want. I'm looking forward to getting notified that I have a power outage or I have a water main burst when I'm up to my ankles in water on my email. Personally, my computer still works. I'll be pretty amazed. Bridging the gap. Okay, next one. Bridging the gap between enterprise systems that are already installed, especially IBM mainframes and legacy systems, and the web, we think, plays a key role in the development of the internet. It's the ability to take these legacy systems and make them much easier to use by a much broader community. That is one of the things that is really making internet take off. So there are a lot of great vendors in the space of connecting these systems together, including OpenConnect with OC Web Connect and OpenVista. Also, the next demonstrator, Simware, to demonstrate their product, Salvo. I'd like to invite Simware's VP of Marketing, Chris Fedorko, on the stage. Chris. Thank you, Mark. Let's see if we can get the flipped over. Screen. Magic. There we go. All right. As Mark said, what I'd like to do today is take this opportunity to show you how we're using our Salvo product to create a whole new type of web application, one that bridges the gap between the web and existing enterprise systems, where we're using those existing enterprise systems as our data sources, who's been on the road for a little while. This sales VP's been traveling for 3 weeks, and he has a little bit of a challenge that's coming up. He has to prepare for his board meeting. Now, as you may expect, there's an expectation that the VP will have some understanding of what's been happening with the sales because it's coming to quarter end. So what he needs to do is be able to check on the status of sales to date at this particular moment in time. The way he's going to do that is he's actually going to get at this system through a new web sales information system, something that we've created, something new, taking advantage of bridging the gap between the web and existing enterprise systems. Now, the way he's going to do that is actually going to dial in to his sweet spot server, and then we're going to use NSAPI to connect to the Salvo server, so we'll have a nice secure connection. We don't want anyone getting at this information. When it connects to the Salvo server, we're going to take a look at the profile when he logs in to see what applications he's allowed to run. He's then going to go and take a look and find out what's really been happening with sales. In order to do that, first he's going to connect to a land-based relational database, take a look at the sales results. He's going to see he's got a little bit of a problem. So then he's going to take a look and find out what's happening in one of the particular regions that doesn't seem to be quite performing properly. So he's going to take a look at the prospect information to find out what's happening in the pipeline with the salespeople. He's going to find that there's some good news there, but he really wants to make sure it's working properly. So he's going to connect to his mainframe application to check the credit rating for a customer order that's coming in. And then finally, take advantage of Navigator's mail capability to send a little heads up to the admin people to make sure that this order gets processed quickly. So that's what we're going to try and do here as we take advantage of this. We'll flip over. For those of you who didn't get your humor this morning, there you go. You can take a look at it. And we will do a live connection here into our host. Yes, we do want a secure connection. Thank you very much. Yes, we have a nice, easy-to-use interface here getting into the system. It'll prompt me for my user ID password, something very easy to use. There we go. And we'll see whether or not I can type properly. And we'll start up the demo. So now it's checking to see what applications I'm allowed to see and providing me with the menu, some of the options that exist against the Salvo server. So it comes up and gives me a list of different things I can look at. What I'm interested in is taking a quick look at the revenue status. So we'll just do this query. What we're doing now is actually submitting a query to a relational database sitting on a LAN server. solver, we're taking the results from that query, and we're actually doing the calculations to show what the quota is, what the quota achievement is, and we use the Internet Foundation classes and Java and JavaScript to create this nice chart, so I can immediately see that I have a slight problem in the Western region. Everyone else seems to be doing okay, but the West seems to be missing a little bit. So I'm simply going to select West, and now what Solve is doing is it's connecting to a separate database that's now sitting on an alpha server, where I'm now going to do a query against what's happening from a prospect perspective. So I can take a look at all my salespeople, the information that I use, and I can find that Francis just doesn't seem to be cutting it. A little bit concerned here. I want to find out what's really happening so I can be prepared for that board meeting. Select Francis, and now I'm going to go into that database and get the detailed information that created the result that I have. And as I take a quick look here, I can find that we have some good news. We have an order there from the ABC Enterprises for $1.6 million, probably help making that quota. And we have a verbal on it today. So far it looks really good. But I want to check on something, make sure there's not going to be any problems with the ABC Enterprise company. So I'm going to simply select ABC Enterprise. Now what we're doing is we're starting up a separate connection. We're logging into an IBM mainframe, logging into the 3270 application that has all the credited information, taking the information out of that application and displaying the results back in the web page. Should we come back in a second here? Well, of course. Here we go. Well, there you go. Live demo. Let's try that again. Okay, Mark, can you tell me why it is that when you do a demo live, it works at 4 o'clock in the morning, but it doesn't work when you're up here on the stage? Quickly go in again. Revenue status. Going to do our query into West. Take a look at dear Francis. Get the good news. There we go. We'll try again. See if we can get this result back. And we'll be getting back is the credit results
credit status is. And then we'll do the last stage, which is going to be the there we go. So we brought back the results. We find that they have a credit limit of $5 million. Good news. 5-star credit rating, no balance, and they place some good orders. So this is great. So we're just going to do the final thing here, which is to fire off a little message to the controller to make sure that we get all of this done. So I'll just leave that. So we've established a system where we've gone to multiple existing systems, enterprise systems, and bridged this gap between the two. What we've done is created a new web application that's using existing enterprise systems as their data sources. We've used Salvo as a Netscape sweet spot plugin to provide the secure connection, making sure that people can't get access to the data. And we use Java, JavaScript, and the Internet Foundation classes to create a common look. Because, let's face it, we are dealing with a sales VP here. It has to be easy to use, right, Mark? The key here is we're using the intuitive Netscape Navigator interface, and we're providing this web-based navigation to multiple data sources. When you think about it, one of the great things about the web is people are not afraid of working with it. They just point and click and go, and that's what we're able to do here. Allows information to be delivered and updated, and the key here is when you have that information, we're providing more data, which provides more information, which allows you to make a better decision. So we have something where we believe that with Salvo and Netscape Navigator and Java, JavaScript, and the Internet Foundation classes, we can bridge that gap and we can create a whole new form of web-based application. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, now we're going to see the, we're going to talk about some developer technology that's very horizontal, that's going to apply to, I think, over time, everyone in the room. As we talked about a little bit earlier, we think that IIoT, the Internet Interorg Protocol, will play an increasingly important role in this platform, in this environment, letting objects running all across the network tie together and talk to each other. So to see how IIoT might use enterprise applications today, I'd like to invite Jens Christensen, who's Chief Technical Officer and founder of VisiGenix, to demonstrate VisiBroker for Java. Take it away, Jens.
Thank you, Mark.
Before I get started with the demonstration, what I'd like to do is just go over the architecture briefly, because it's really pretty exciting. We have a portfolio manager demonstration that's running in a
various C++ and Java objects on a network, which are then in turn connected to databases and other data sources. All of the communication in this architecture is done via IIoT. Now, as you mentioned earlier, I believe IIoT is very important because just as HTTP has become the standard protocol for browsing documents on the web, I believe that IIoT will eventually become the standard protocol for doing object communication on the web and internet. So essentially, in the Portfolio Manager web page, you essentially have an updated document that receives data from the various objects on the network in real time. Most of the work in this application is actually done in a Java applet that's running in the Netscape browser. This Java applet basically accesses 4 objects. The first object is the account object. The account object handles the login for the users and also eventually returns back handles to the portfolio and cache objects that are used by the application. Finally, there's the portfolio object itself manages the actual stock portfolio, and the cache object actually manages the accounts in the application. Finally, there's a quote object that actually displays the latest value for particular stocks in the portfolio, and the quote server is actually implemented by accessing an internet quote service. So essentially, in the Portfolio Manager, I can keep track of various stocks and either buy and sell them using my cash account. Let's switch to the actual application. We're here loading a Java applet. Okay, as you can see, the Portfolio Manager application, we're managing 3 securities: Netscape, Visagenic, and Cisco. The C++ objects are actually querying the quote servers. They're calculating the total portfolio value, and they're returning this back to the Portfolio Manager application. Now, with the architecture I've described, it's actually very easy to build a new object. For example, you might imagine an object to calculate the volume of the trades for a particular day. Now, this application you can actually find on our homepage, and you can independent objects. This is important in several areas. First, as a developer, what's important is you don't have to worry about how to get to the data. Each of the objects knows how to update themselves and provide this data further onto the browser. Second, if you don't like a particular display, a particular graph, or what have you, you can essentially replace it with a different object or interface. And finally, this architecture is quite scalable because essentially as demand goes up, you can add new objects on the server side to access and be able to support the additional demand. So essentially, this is an application built in Java that runs in a common everyday browser and communicates with C++ and Java objects on a network. One of the advantages of this kind of architecture that you get is flexibility. That is, you can easily change parts of the application without having to change the application as a whole simply by adding or removing objects. Another key point is that this is a truly cross-platform application. It will in fact run on any of the 16 platforms to which the Java virtual machine has been ported to date. And recently, Visagenic signed an agreement with Netscape whereby the IOP runtime will actually be included in the next versions of the Navigator browsers and the servers as well. And we're very excited about that because what it's going to mean is that these Corban IOP applications will run much faster. There's no need to download the IOP runtime anymore. And the final point I'd like to make is that this demonstration really also shows the use of what's called core by event services. Essentially, rather than just doing polling all the time, whenever the code service notices a change in value, it wants to asynchronously update all of the objects and applications that are interested in that particular value. It does this by pushing the event information onto an event channel, which then in turn pushes that information onto all the applications and objects that are subscribed to that particular event. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, next up we have a great example of a native Java and IFC-based application from a company called Ceres. Ceres is penciled in as a great example of how IFCs can be used to create very quickly a very compelling Java-based graphical UI. So to show us the application, I'd like to introduce Andrew Turk, Ceres' president.
The original version of Pencil Me In is currently used by enterprise customers all over the world. Our product is unique because it's much more than just a calendar. It combines a rich, cross-platform calendar with an open object-oriented API. This API gives corporate developers plenty of headroom to expand their use of time-based information on intranets by leveraging our scheduling engine. It was very easy for us to decide on Java for the third generation of our product, but we needed development tools that were up to the task, tools that could produce an industrial strength application with a shrink wrap quality user interface. In addition, since RS is a strong supporter of open standards, our development environment also needed to be open, object-oriented, and based on industry standards. What we found is that a combination of Java and Netscape's open network environment, this combination has enabled us to create a really powerful piece of software, and here it is on the screen. This is a standard browser, Netscape Navigator 3.0, and most of the screen here is occupied by our applet, Pencil Me In. It's a calendar, and it looks like paper and pretty much works the same way. For instance, if I want to create a new appointment here, I'll just click. Hit return, and I've created a new appointment. If I want to make it a little bit longer, I can pull down the duration bar here and extend the time, and I can even reschedule it if I wanted to. Point and click. This is all done in pure Java. There's not a line of standard C code in this thing. If I want to add a little bit of zip, I can pull down a color, drop it on the meeting there, and now it has a little bit of color to it. So this is a very simple interface here. Now what I want to show you is how we can schedule a group meeting between this person, whose name is Greg Kerwin, and myself. So to do that, I'm going to bring up our event inspector. There it is. And this gives a little more information about what's going on inside the calendar database itself. There's the time, there's the title, I could create an alarm here if I wanted to. But now I'm playing Greg, and I want to set up this group meeting. So I'm going to bring up our resource user, select my name, and there we go. I'm in there as a guest. And now what Greg wants to do is make sure that he can find a good time for this meeting. So he clicks on the Show Busy Time control in the inspector. And now you notice that there's some cross-hatching that appears in the background on the calendar. What that does is it tells Greg that chose first off was actually clear, and he's going to go ahead and invite me to that particular meeting, pressing the set button. And now what's going on is the calendar client here is messaging our scheduling server, which is also written in Java. So now Greg wants to, he knows that I'm kind of a busy guy and I may not actually come to the meeting unless I confirm it. So he's going to go back and actually request that I respond to that personally instead of just simply dropping it in my calendar. Or sending another message to the scheduling server. And now my attendance status has changed to unconfirmed. So now we want to pretend that I'm me again and go back and take a look at my calendar. And to do that, we'll go to our directory here. Click on my link. And now we're going to download another copy of the applet. This is actually a fairly big Java program. I believe our image is over 1 megabyte of compiled Java code. It takes a while to come down. And here's my calendar. And there's the Greg and Andy meeting. And if I want to respond to that, our scheduling server has graciously sent me a mail message, and this uses the rich HTML with Java applet embedded in it. And this applet is connected to our scheduling server, which is connected to the program running in the browser. And if I say that I will attend, it sends a message over to the server and updates it. And if I say that I won't attend, it sends a message as well. And you notice that it deletes it from the calendar that's in the web browser. So you've got live communication here between an applet running in mail, our scheduling server, which is written in Java, and the applet running inside Navigator. So to sum up here, as one of the first vendors to produce industrial strength Java software for enterprises, we're really pleased with the Netscape Internet Foundation classes. Combined with our scheduling engine, we've been able to build a platform-independent, scalable application using existing standards. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Great. One more from a company called Visual Numerics. This is an example of a system that, again, is a vertical developer technology. So this is something you can take and use to build applications specifically involving high-end data visualization and high-end computing. Visual Numerics decided to create the application you're about to see after attending the first DevCon in March. And they've used the Netscape technology to deliver a really compelling distributed high-performance computing application, the type of thing that involves
Visual Numerics endorses Netscape 1 as the ideal environment for the delivery of our next generation visualization and numerical solutions. What these solutions do is allow enterprise developers to build network-centric applications that have visual and numerical requirements. These applications then in turn are used by users to make meaningful information out of the data glut that's on the net. The application that we're going to show today is the usage of visual numerics technologies and Netscape 1 to integrate distributed resources. In particular, we use the IFC, Java, and VRML to access our numerical and visual technology. This in turn allows the user of the application running the Netscape browser to be able to direct the resources that they want in order to do the analysis.
Okay, first a bit about the application that we're going to look at. The users of this application are researchers in the field of material sciences. What they are interested in looking at is the phenomena of the movement of atoms in materials when the material is put under stress. The solution that we have provided is a Java applet that will run on any appliance that allows access to high-performance numeric servers and high-performance visualization servers, thereby allowing the University of Virginia Tech to maximize their investment in the software that they've created and the hardware that they've purchased. It also goes a long way in facilitating collaboration amongst the research participants. The application itself is an excellent example of collaboration. Visual Numerics first built some enabling technology, put it out on the net. Virginia Tech downloaded it, used it, improved upon it, gave it back to us, and then finally Netscape delivered some IFC foundation technology that helped us considerably in building this application. Let me walk you through a typical usage. The first thing that we need to do is to acquire some data. As the user here is presented with the opportunity to go either to a server at Virginia Tech or Visual Numerics. Let's go to Virginia Tech. As you can see, there's two options at this point. We can download some previously created data or do a new simulation. Take you through a new simulation, and here you see a lot of IFC functionality where we can set the parameters for the simulation. An important input in this screen is an email address. The
going to be performed on a high-performance supercomputer, it's still going to take 30 hours to complete. So when you put your data in, the server will execute the simulation and then email the user when the job is done. Then the user can come in, as I'm doing here, and selecting the results of a previous simulation. Now we're going to play the game again. We have the data now. We want to look at the results of the data. The user is allowed the ability to pick the visualization server of choice. This time we'll go to Colorado. And we'll download. I could submit a job, but I'm just going to download a previous job. You can come to the booth and see us do this in real live time, but right now, this is CAN, and we use CGI, but we're going to be moving to the IIOP technology. What you're about to see is the results of the simulation of the atoms that were placed under stress. And the ones that have moved do not, the ones that haven't moved do not show up, and these are only the ones that have. Because the visualization server adheres to the internet standards, in this case VRML, we're able to download the data and view it on our client. Each of these little squares represents an atom that has moved a significant amount. And the researcher uses this view of the data as kind of a preview to determine if the simulation produced interesting results. If it did, then they can go back to the visualization server and do a much more computationally intense visualization, which in this case will be a volume rendering. What we're doing in this case is we have a 3D object. We're taking a camera and we're moving it around the 3D object in the 16 positions and taking 2D snapshots. We then take those 2D images, string them together into an animated JPEG format, which again is an industry standard, so we can download it directly from the server and run it through our Java applet here. This was extremely easy for us to do because we made a lot of use of the animation capabilities in the Internet Foundation classes from Netscape. So this part was really easy. Now I understand that this is kind of esoteric data here, so I'm going to download something that should be a little more familiar to us. And this is audience participation time. What we're going to do is use one more remote server in this solution, and this time it's going to be the one sitting on top of your shoulders. What you're looking at here is the exact same visualization process that we used on the other data. It's just MRI data instead of atoms. What is actually being displayed is a sequence of 2D images, but what your brain and eye is doing is putting those 2D images together and saying, if that's the 2D images, then this must be a 3D image. And that's why what you're seeing on the screen now is a 3D image. In conclusion, what we've done, we're using high-performance computers for numerical analysis, high-performance computers for visualization, make them all accessible and runnable through a Java applet on any appliance.
So what we have here is the internet and intranet that's all about resources and access to those resources. What we're going to do is we're going to take this technology out of the back room and make it available to people in business and commerce. As an example, analysts on Wall Street are using the technology right now. If you come by the booth, you can see an application that's running an options pricing model that does calculations on board the client in a Java numeric library that we've implemented, but also does more computationally intense calculations on a remote server running a partial differential equation application in Boulder, Colorado. What Netscape 1 has done for us is eliminated the need for our developers to do the heavy lifting. We don't have to worry about porting. We don't have to worry about proprietary languages. What that does for developers is it allows developers to use a lot of these robust environments and development tools, some of which you've seen on the stage today and others that you'll see at the conference. What it does for visual numerics developers is let's focus on the things that we do best, and that's numerics and visualization. Visual numerics can choose to stand on the sideline and hope that network standards are adopted. What we choose to do is participate, and we're going to participate by developing components and building applications using the Netscape 1 environment. Thank you.
Great, thanks. That's it. Thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate all your support. We appreciate your attendance. Please let us know if there's anything we can do. Before we continue on to the rest of the day, I'd like to quickly introduce Donna Simonides, Director of Developer Services and host of the conference, to cover a few housekeeping announcements. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
I just wanted to cover a couple of quick things. We don't have a venue here for Q&A on the keynote, but I wanted to mention there is an executive roundtable tomorrow afternoon. There are actually two of them. They happen during the technical elective portion. So check your program guide, and we will have Mark, Mike Homer, Rick Shell, who's the head of engineering, and a number of other VPs available for questions at that time. Mark also talked about the One Experts program, a training and qualification system for proficiency on the One platform. For more information, again, go to the DevEdge Cafe in the Netscape Underground. There you will not only get more information, you'll be able to pick up 2 CDs. One's Jumpstart to One Expert CD. It's 4 hours of courseware on JavaScript. And in addition, there is the conference edition of the DevEdge CD. And again, I'll just emphasize what Mansour said at the Semantic booth. They are also giving out their preview CD. A couple of things about the sessions. During registration, a couple of people asked about what track they should attend. You can go to any track you want, any session you want. There are 3 tracks to provide a complete start-to-finish curriculum to meet the needs of programmers, MIS managers, and website architects. The best practices and partner briefings give technology decision makers an opportunity to fully evaluate the latest in the technology and listen to developers discuss their own internet deployment strategies. So, if you're a programmer, you might want to go to the programming practices. If you're more evaluating, you might want to attend both the MIS sessions and the best practices. If you're doing website architecture, the 3rd track is the right place to go. We had a challenge in finding a venue big enough for all of you here in New York. So one of the things we're doing, which is somewhat innovative, is we're doing staggered lunches. They will begin at 11:30 in the Central Park food area, which is actually through the underground, up the escalators, and up the escalators again. We will be feeding you in 2 shifts. You have your choice of first shift or second shift, and really you should make the decision based on whatever track that you're following. There's no particular lunch assignments. Immediately after I'm done speaking, this room is going to split into an east ballroom and a west ballroom and become 2 separate track rooms. Take a look at the pocket program, which is inside of your badge, to determine which breakout rooms are assigned to each track. They're listed at the top of each day's schedule as well. Gramercy Suite. You'll need to go down the escalators and around the back if you would like to attend sessions in that. If you get lost, there are a bunch of people out there with green hats that say, "Ask me." That's because they want you to ask them questions about how to get anywhere you need to go. You found a yellow addendum on your chair. If you didn't get one on your chair, they have some at the door. We did make some room changes, some session changes, so make sure you refer to this to find out what the latest is in terms of who will be where when. You'll be getting a conference feedback form. As Danny mentioned early on, a lot of the conference feedback we got back in March fed into the curriculum we developed here. I strongly encourage you to fill it out. Let us know what you think. In addition, if you're one of the first folks to fill it out and get it in, there are free gifts for the first 1,000 developers who return the survey. I believe to the SoftBank show office on Friday. And then the fun stuff, the party thing. Tonight, from 7 to 10 p.m., you can come party with Apple, Autodesk, NetObjects, OpenConnect, Symantec, and my own DevEdge group at the Sheraton Hotel in the Clubland Crawl. 6 parties in one. Be sure to pick up an invitation at the registration desk for admittance. In addition, one of the things that we've done here is we've got our own little intranet running. We have something called the DevEdge Daily, which will be posting real-time information about the conference at any given point in time. There are about 25 kiosks peppered throughout the show. I strongly encourage you to take a look. This DevEdge Daily is actually being brought to you by the DevEdge team and Informix. Informix has done a great job helping us to pull this together. It's running on HP hardware. We're using Kodak photo CDs. So if you get snapped, look for yourself on the DevEdge Daily. You may actually be part of the show. And there's also an Illustrator database running in the back, and we're using the web data blade technology. It's actually pretty cool, so I strongly encourage you guys to take a peek, if only to find out what's going on here, but you'll also see it's a pretty cool use of internet technology. Last but most importantly, we couldn't have done this without the support of many partners. There were a number of people that helped us out both in sponsoring the conference and in participating in the exhibition space. Those helping us sponsor are OpenConnect, AT&T, IBM, Compaq, Digital, HP, Intel, Retail Sun, SGI, and Unify. They've been a great help in getting this to happen, and as well stop by and see more than 80 vendors that are helping us out in the technology pavilion. So we hope you enjoy the next 3 days. I look forward to meeting many of you personally, and thanks for coming.
That concludes this program. The material on this cassette was duplicated by Mobile Tape Company Incorporated of Valencia, California. More information about available cassettes